Welcome back to Gentleman's Corner, guys. My name is David. Today I have a new video for you, and today's video is an instructional video on how to smoke a pipe. Now, for those of you who are my faithful viewers, you will remember I said explicitly I would never do this kind of video. However, recently I ran a poll on my Twitter account, and the most requested video was an instructional video on how to smoke a pipe. So here we are. This video is intended for the most basic version of instruction in pipe smoking. For those of you who are watching this video, it is intended for beginners to show them an entry into the world of pipe smoking. And with that, everything I have for you today is down here on this table, so I'm going to change camera angles so that you can see everything that is going on the table in front of me. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, so here on the table in front of me, we have everything that you need to become acquainted with in smoking, a pipe. Now, first of all, we're going to start with the most important thing, and that is the pipe itself. These are the two most common kinds of pipe you are going to see. The first is a corncob pipe. And a corncob pipe is created using corn that is specifically grown for making corncob pipes. They're cheap, economical, which is why I like them. However, they do tend to degrade in quality over time as you continue to use them, and eventually they are meant to be just thrown away. However, if you're just getting into pipe smoking, this is a great economical option. They range in price anywhere from $3 to $10 for a basic corncob pipe. So it's not a huge investment that you're making if you later decide you don't like pipe smoking. Now above it, we have two different versions of briar pipes. Now, briar is made from a Mediterranean root wood, and it can be sculpted into almost any shape. These both are straight billiard pipes, which is the shape and design of them. But you can have anything from a bent pipe to a sculpted pipe. The limitations are really only on the material itself and your imagination. Now, I'm going to use both of these in my demonstration today just to show you what it is you need to know. Now, above it, we have the second most important part of pipe smoking, pipe tobacco. These are the four most common kinds of packaging that you're going to see in pipe smoking. Now, starting with this one, this is a tin. This is fairly typical of European blends. Some American producers do use them, as they tend to like the style and look better than that of the second most common, which is the can. Now, this is a very American-style form of packaging. This is used by companies such as Cornell and Diehl and formerly McClelland. The third most common is envelopes. These are used for what we call over-the-counter or OTC blends. These are the drugstore blends that your grandfather used to smoke. Sir Walter Raleigh, Prince Albert, and Captain Black. The way these work is you just peel this back, open it up, and there's an envelope inside, and here's where all the tobacco would be, is inside this envelope. Now, the problem with these three forms of packaging is that they do not keep the tobacco moist for very long. Once these are opened and their airtight seal is broken, you have a very limited time to smoke the tobacco that is in them. If you're like me, and you like smoking more than one kind of blend at a time, I highly recommend that you invest in canning jars, or as we call them down here in the South, mason jars. This is just a basic ball mason jar. This one happens to be a half-pint jar, which is good for holding between 1 and 2 ounces of tobacco. A pint jar can hold between 3 and 4 ounces of pipe tobacco. This one, I created a specific label for it. This is Lane 1Q. It is a pipe tobacco that I highly recommend for new smokers if you're interested in trying it. It is an aromatic blend, which means that it is sweet and flavored. The aromatic blend Lane 1Q is very good to start with. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It only comes in bulk, which means that you would receive it in a small plastic baggie, at which point you would need to put it in a canning jar. You can get it online, but most of your local tobacco shops will carry Lane 1Q. If you'd like to hear more about that tobacco, I'll put a link to my review of Lane 1Q in the description box below this video. So, we now move on to lighters. Now, these lighters are different kinds, and we will get to them, but just to breeze over them, they are matches, disposable lighters, and Zippos. Finally, you have this curious little thing. This is called a check tool, and it's not necessary for smoking a pipe. You can actually use anything from a roofing nail up to several other different kinds of forms, so those are the two most common. What is important is that you have this end right here with a flat end, which we call a tamper. That is important for being able to pack your pipe properly. Now that we've covered all of this, let me just cover very quickly two different kinds of tobacco that you're going to most commonly run into. Those are ribbon cut tobacco or rough cut tobacco, which you can see here, and flake tobacco, which I shall pull from this mystical baggie right here. Let's pull one of these flakes out. So as you can see, these are two very different looking pieces of tobacco. Here you have rough cut or ribbon cut tobacco. A rough cut is chopped up into very small pieces, and it's very easy to work with, which is why I like it. It packs well, it usually keeps a light fairly well, but it makes for a more consistent blend. Some blenders enjoy making flake tobacco. This is what once was a roll of leaves of tobacco that were dried and then sliced into these little discs. And as you can see, they're very, very thin. There's a couple of different ways to smoke them. My preference is to take them in the palm of my hand, place my other palm and rub them out. That creates a tobacco much more like rough cut, and then pack it from there. Other people like to take the coin and fold it and then stuff it into their pipes. I've never found that that works very well for me, and it doesn't always produce a very consistent smoking flavor. However, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to stick solely with this pipe tobacco, the rough cut. Let's go ahead and clear this area. I'm going to use this briar pipe because it has a very large bowl, a very thick, light rim, which makes it very easy to see in contrast to the rest of everything else. Dump out a little bit more tobacco here. So, when you are preparing your pipe, the first step is to pack it. To do that, we're going to go ahead, take a pinch of tobacco, and just sprinkle it into the bowl of the pipe. You're not looking to pack it at this point, you just want to fill it up very loosely. Go ahead and tap on the side if you want to settle it in there. Then take your tamper, the flat end, and press into the tobacco. Don't press it too hard, do it very gently. What you're looking for is to get it down to about the halfway point. There. And once we have done that, we're going to take another pinch of tobacco and put it in. Again, we're not pressing down yet, we're just filling up the space. Once that's done, we'll go ahead, take our tamper again, you'll pack it down again. And you're looking to get to about the 2/3 mark. So you want the bowl about 2/3 of the way full. This is going to be a slightly firmer tamp. Finally, we'll take the last little bit of tobacco and sprinkle it right here up on top. Once that is done, we'll take our tamper one last time and go ahead and press it down. And all you're looking to do is to get the level of the tobacco about 1/8 of an inch below the rim of the bowl. There. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and put away the rest of this tobacco back into the jar. This is when it's nice to use a piece of paper because you can just do this and now your tobacco is back into the jar. Now we come to the topic of lighting the pipe. There's a couple of different options here, and I'm going to really quickly tell you the merits of each. First of all is matches. This is the most traditional form of lighting. However, it's very easy to lose the flame. In addition, you have this red area that you need to let burn off first to make sure that none of the chemicals in the head of the match end up in your pipe. That can poison you and that cannot be good. Now second is just a regular disposable lighter. Now this one is a slightly more fancy version of the traditional Bic lighter. However, they both work exactly the same using butane gas. Now, both of these are very nice because they have a very clean burning flame, all things considered. So it doesn't really add any flavor to the tobacco. On the other hand, you have fluid-filled lighters like a Zippo. Now, a lot of pipe smokers will complain about Zippos, saying, oh, it adds a flavor to the tobacco. And that is true for the first couple of puffs. However, it's not true once you get into the main bowl. So I highly encourage using a Zippo because the flame doesn't go out in the wind, so I can smoke outside or in the lounge, regardless of what lighter I'm using, as long as it's a Zippo. The only time the flame really goes out is when you close it. Now, this particular Zippo is built for pipe smoking. You can see that it has a hole here in the middle of the chimney. That's so that the pipe lighter can be held sideways to light the bowl of the pipe. Now, I'm not going to light this one because it doesn't have any fluid in it currently. However, I will use it for the demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and move these guys back to the side here. Now, once your pipe is properly packed, it is technically ready to smoke. Go ahead, take a test draw on it. It should feel like you're sipping water through a straw. Once it's ready, go ahead and light your lighter. Go ahead and go around the rim of the pipe, not on the rim, but just inside of it over the bowl, and go in a circular motion, taking puffs periodically. As you are puffing, it is drawing the flame down into the bowl, lighting the tobacco. Now, do not put the lighter directly on the tobacco. This is going to scorch it, which is going to create a nasty, bitter taste in your mouth. Instead, hover it slightly above, maybe half an inch, and draw the flame down using your breath. Now, as you puff, you'll notice more and more smoke coming out. Once you've got a fair good amount of smoke going, go ahead and close your lighter. Puff on it, you'll notice in about 5 or 6 puffs that the flame will go out and it'll stop producing smoke. That's normal. This is what we call a charring or first light. Once that is done, go ahead, take your tamper, tamp down the tobacco one more time to seal the layer of ash that has been created. That's going to act as a piece of insulation to protect the cherry that we're building. Now, once that's done, go ahead and relight your lighter and relight in the same fashion as the first time. You'll notice that very quickly smoke is produced and it becomes a much stronger smoke. Go ahead, close your lighter and continue to puff. So long as your cadence is fairly average and routine, the pipe should stay lit. If you notice it starting to go out, you can place your fingers directly on top of the bowl like this, creating a small passage for air to pass through. This will act like a bellows in a fireplace and help to provide concentrated oxygen directly to the flame. Then lift up and continue to puff. If your pipe does go out, simply relight it, come back in with your tamper and tamp down the ash again. Now, once you are done with your pipe, go ahead and set it aside. Let it come down to room temperature first before you do anything. This will give the briar time to cool down as it's been getting heated from your smoking. Now, don't smoke too fast or you will crack the bowl from overheating it. Once you are done with your bowl, go ahead and take your other side of your nail, or if you have a check tool, go ahead and use the poker side and poke into the ash to loosen it from all the packing that you've done with the tamper. Once that's done, go ahead and pour it out and tap a couple of times to make sure that it's out. Now, never, ever tap the edge of a briar pipe on a hard surface. You will damage the pipe, and damage on a briar pipe is not repairable. If you do not have a cork knocker in your ashtray, feel free to use the heel of your palm, but never tap on a hard surface with a briar pipe. You will damage it. Now, once you've finished tapping out all of the ash, go ahead and blow through the mouthpiece to get any fine soot in the shank out. Once that's done, you can go ahead and take a pipe cleaner, This one I've already used, so I can show you what it does. And insert it into the end. This will run, once it's straight, all the way through down into the heel of the pipe. Then pull it out and fold it in half as we've done here, and then insert it into the bowl of the pipe. Now, don't try to scrub, just take it and very carefully twist it. That'll sweep out all of the soot that you've just created, and it'll come out black on both sides. However, it won't get rid of the cake that is building up as you continue to smoke. The cake is going to add extra insulation to help protect the briar. Now, a corncob pipe will not build a cake. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen either in a meerschaum pipe. It only happens in briar or other wood pipes. Now, once that's done, go ahead and set your pipe away. Now, the pipe will be moist from your saliva and from the smoke. So do not smoke it for 24 hours. You should have, if you plan on smoking every day, at least 2 pipes so that you can rotate them. If you want to begin pipe smoking every day but don't want to use the expense, get 2 corncob pipes. That's the best way to do it. Now, that's all I have for you in the way of the actual pipes. So real quickly, I'm just going to change camera angles one more time. Alrighty guys, well I hope you've enjoyed my very first instructional video. I've tried to put together a good video so that I can explain the methods of pipe smoking at its most basic level for those of you who are looking to get into the hobby. Now, if this video has created more questions than answers, go ahead and ask something down in the comments section. If it's something that I can't answer or you'd like to know even more about pipe smoking, I'm going to direct you to a friend of mine. His name is the Mutton Chop Piper, and his videos are the reason that I know so much about pipe smoking. Mutton Chop's channel link will be in the description box below this video. I highly encourage you to check him out because this video only scratches the surface of pipe smoking. Now, if you'd like to follow me on other social media, please find the links to my Instagram and Twitter in the description box below this video. If you enjoyed this video, I would encourage you to hit the like button. If you would like to see more of my videos, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button. And please do hit the notification button next to the subscribe button. It looks like a little bell and it will send you a notification anytime I upload a new video. Other than that, guys, my name is David. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. And other than that, have a good one.